Hey, this is Zoe with Bronze Serpent Media. I'm here with my buddies on All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.
All right, welcome back to All Over the Place, the official podcast of Media Pub Live. With me tonight, Marty Zamora. How you doing tonight, Marty?
Pretty good. Got a little
Jim.
whiskey, so
Oh,
I'm happy.
It's not a show unless Marty is imbibing of some sort of adult beverage. Always nice to have Marty, and we gotta get sponsorship from one of those boozeteries at some point.
We do.
Yes, but unfortunately, Jim not able to join us tonight. If you remember the last show, he was a little under the weather. He is still, actually, he's more like a lot under the weather now. But so, Jim Culver, feel better, buddy. And joining us tonight, a guest who I had on the old Radio Free Fredonia show, let's just say a few moons ago. And with us from the band Edge of Paradise, a band that has been described as cinematic rock with an industrial edge, ethereal, cosmic. Margarita Monet from Edge of Paradise, welcome to All Over the Place.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, so,
welcome.
And and right now you are, and we're just going to jump right in. You are on tour right now with Lacuna Coil, and you have a very brief off night. So thank you for joining us on your off night. And so how's the tour going so far?
It's going amazing. Yes, we've had a couple of sold out shows already, and we're only like 4 shows in. And yeah, people are really awesome, and all the bands are awesome, and so much really just great energy all around, and we're time. So.
And I've been, obviously following you, and folks, you can follow Edge of Paradise, Facebook, Instagram. What other social medias can they find you?
We're everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, yeah.
See the social media. So just go out there, look for Edge of Paradise, look for Margarita. And what I've been noticing, and as one stop in particular, of the younger audiences are coming out. And the little girl's name was Layden. You were her first rock show. What's that like, having that awesome that achievement on the mantle now, bringing her into the rock and roll world?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids at these shows, which is always really cool to see. Yeah, the kids are very into it, and then they love to get some souvenirs from the shows, and it's always great for us to meet them because it's very inspiring to meet, kids who are really into the music. So especially, being the very first band the little girl has seen, it feels very special. And I think she had a great time I think Lacuna Coil is like one of the most perfect shows to see for the first time, because it's cinematic, it's heavy, but it's very accessible for all ages, and the crowd is very just the energy is great all around. There's not, if it was like, there's no moshing, nothing that's like.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. So
no mosh pit.
Yeah, no mosh pits. It's a great tour for little kids to see.
The little rocker, do they got the devil horns up, or they're just actually how many of them are covering their ears and then they realize, no, this is awesome, take my hands off of my ears?
Yeah, I don't know. I've met them after the shows. I mean, I'm sure because it gets pretty loud, but I've seen they posted a photo and the little girl goes like this with a heart.
Nice. Cute. Love it. So so you're out on tour now, and the latest album was from 2021, The Unknown, but just last week you dropped another awesome single with the hologram, or no, not just hologram. It's not the hologram. You dropped hologram. So what's on the horizon now? When's a new album coming out? When can we expect some more new music from you?
Yeah, so that song was actually not officially released.
So it's just on Spotify. Okay, so
we're kind of it's being taken care of. There's
some I did not mean to hit a delicate subject here. My hologram doesn't exist, folks. Don't look for it anywhere. No, it's.
But it will exist very soon. But yeah, The Unknown is the latest album, and we are very excited to get the new album out there, and it will be released the right way very soon. And it's gonna be our, it's like a continuation to The Unknown, but we are stepping into more heavy, more dangerous sci-fi territories, and it's a very, it's kind of like story where you it kind of describes what we're going through right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
So,
going to have a lot of meaning to it. So we're
so is it a concept album of sorts, or just like a continuation of the themes that you had on the previous album,
it's a
or a little bit of both?
little bit of both, a little bit of a concept album because we are looking to, I mean, we filmed a few music videos and there is a continuous storyline through it. I don't want to give away too much, but
Awesome.
like a lot of characters involved and you know, a lot of adventures, and we are looking to release a graphic novel with it later on. So
Graphic
That's
novel. So,
awesome.
Marty, I know you had something along those lines, so I know I'm going to throw to you on that one. Coming off of a graphic novel.
Yeah, just I've been a little under the weather today too, so I spent a lot of the day going through a lot of your stuff, and the music's fantastic. I mean, I didn't really know where the years lined up, but you could definitely. I started figuring it out because the music has evolved. Um, but I stumbled upon that you do a lot of this or all of your artwork on your albums, and so does that mean that you're going to do some of the graphic novel?
well, actually, the album art, I never do the cover art. I do a lot of like for the last album, I did a lyric and art book where I made a painting for each of the songs, and that became, you know, a book where people can go through the lyrics and see the art that goes along with it. So for the next one, we're going to take it a step further and tell a story through the art and you know, the music. I don't. I'll still be doing a lot of art, but we are going to be working with a lot of other artists, and especially Dresden Seven. He's going to be involved in the storyline and the artwork. So we are gonna. I love working with other artists just because it really brings in inspiration from the outside. So collaboration always takes things up, and you know, to the
Yeah,
next.
definitely, definitely.
And speaking of collaborators, first, please send my best to Dave. I remember meeting y'all back in 2011 when you're touring off of Mask. That's when I got met you initially meeting you guys and getting out there and getting the headbanging in with Edge of Paradise. So please send my best to Dave. And
Yeah.
he's been your number one collaborator since you two came together and formed Edge of Paradise. And what's it been like with Dave? Dave has been the constant through line, and now the latest band seems to be gelling. So tell me how they're fitting in with how you and Dave have structured the band.
Yeah, we've been with the current lineup for a few years now. Well, I don't know. It's so weird, you know, with COVID, everything's kind of a blur. The time seems weird because we had so many tours lined up and everything got canceled. So we got a drummer, Jamie. Then I think our bass player, Kenny, is the last one to join this lineup. And it feels like we've been together for a really long time now because everything feels so like we feel like a unit, and we never really had that before. And this is the first album, Hologram, that we recorded together as a band because beforehand, you know, Dave either played bass or we had other people play bass. You know, with Universe, we had another drummer, but Jamie, our current drummer, played on The Unknown. So it was always kind of scrambled. So with this upcoming album, it's our lineup. You know, we've toured together now. We're a really great unit. We get along. You know, we care for each other. We are, you know, have great chemistry. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, you know, and I feel like we all feel really confident together now. So they all gel. Otherwise, you know, we had to throw them off the spaceship.
That's a very painful ride. And now joining us now, we have our producer and an occasional co-host, Christine.
Hi,
Hello.
Hey, Margarita. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah.
And check, we're recording. I did it.
Congratulations. Yeah.
One in a row.
I'm not refired yet, so that's good. Yeah, so good.
Can I ask you a question?
This is all of our shows. Absolutely. Go.
You know, I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet, but like at what point when you were growing up do you go, this is what I want to do for my career, my life? Like this is what I was born to do. When did that happen?
I never thought a metal band would be that. I always knew I wanted to do something in performing arts because I grew up playing classical piano. I did theater, I did ballet, like all the kind of performing aspects of art. Um, of the arts, but it's not till I moved to LA I kind of fell into it. And um, I went to NYU for acting, and I did astronomy, and I took biology. So it's like I did a lot of different things there. And then when I moved to LA, I tried to do just anything. Like I was in this dance group. I gigs, but I missed music a lot. So it was totally by chance that this random producer asked me to play piano on a song, and then I ended up singing on it and writing it. And then we needed a guitar player, met Dave, and Dave was coming out of another band that he had and was like, I need a singer. I was like, I'm not really a singer, but I feel like we just had the same.
I think I would disagree.
Uh,
Yeah,
You're a hell of a
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I was
everybody
gonna
caught my
say,
look of
like,
astonishment either. So yeah,
how do you fall into being like, how do you fall into being a singer?
and not just
That's
a
crazy.
singer. You're a singer with an amazing range, as you know, as we brought up, way a long time ago. And anyone who listens to you obviously know you've got this perfect voice for metal, perfect voice for rock. And it's just, yeah, I just stumbled into it. Whatever.
because when we, okay, I always knew that I wanted to create something and build something that's meaningful. And I think that's where I was like, okay, with Dave, because he kind of wanted to do the same thing. And since he was already doing a band, I was like, I had no idea what it would entail actually, and it took us years to figure out how to write together. So I think with our album Universe in 2019, I think that's where we really figured out what we wanted to sound like. And I think it took me that long to really evolve as a singer as well, because now I listen to myself when I first started, and I'm a completely different singer. But I think I always had the attitude that, like, because I was always in music, so I could have, like, when writing songs, I would write them on the piano, and I could hear what it would need, melody wise and lyric wise. So I never limited myself thinking, oh, I could never do that. Whatever I heard in my head, I just kind of figured out how to do with my voice. And I kept pushing myself to make sure that I'm happy with what I hear back. And I think that helped me evolve as a singer, because otherwise, like, I just had the attitude of there's no limits, and just kind of keep pushing. And the evolution is never ending, and it's kind of the fun thing about it. So
Well, it
And how,
definitely worked. Your
and how,
method worked.
oh,
thank you.
I'm sorry, Marty. I'm stepping all over you. That's on me. That's on me. So, no, to that with the evolution, Margarita. What was it like working with Howard Benson on the Unknown album, and how he took you to the next level?
Yeah, so that whole project was interesting because we wrote the album during 2020 because all our tours got canceled, and I called Mike Plotnikov, who actually produced Universe, and I was like, Mike, we don't have tours, let's just record music. And at the time, he was working with Neil from 3 Days Grace. He was like, do you mind if Neil steps in, from Canada on FaceTime, and just becomes a part of it? I was like, yeah, why not? That would be cool. So we just started, recording that way. And the album was pretty much done. Actually, it was done. And then Howard Benson heard the songs. He actually already heard songs that were mixed by Jacob Hansen. And then there were some that are still in the works. And then he was like, I'm really like what I'm hearing. And then he wanted me to re-record some of the songs. So I went into the studio and did I think four songs I re-sang. And he really brought out an edge to my voice that I never had before, more of a rock edge, I would say. Like, for example, Digital Paradise, if you listen to what I had before and after, it is a big difference, because before it was a bit softer, kind of like Universe. I used more of a softer voice, and then the chorus, it was more, it was powerful, but it was cleaner. Then when I re-sang it with him, he brought out a lot of grit, a lot of edge. I sang everything powerful, like the verses, the choruses. So he added a lot of that. And then, production wise, also, I think we smoothed that. Like, he did a lot of cutting out parts because, our band, we tend to have more of involved songs. It's not very copy. And with Howard, he took some of the songs and we made them a little more streamlined. Which, sometimes it would be like, but, with him, he kind of has an outlook that, we're making this for radio. So we did that. And yeah, I mean, we really love how it turned out. But The Unknown is the song that actually we have a couple of versions out there because I'm like, we have to go with a song that, The Unknown is like a piece of my heart. I mean, all the songs are, but the title track is like really meaningful to me. So you can hear the actual song that, we intended to, be the original track, and it really grows. So the chorus doesn't come in to like a minute and 30 seconds. And then there's a radio version where the chorus kicks in right away. So that's kind of the Howard Benson way.
Multiple versions for the eventual box set of Edge of Paradise, so you can hear the alternate tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not, and to that, with physical media, obviously is something that is evolving, whether it's into the streaming world, away from CDs and albums, but now vinyl's of course making a comeback. But what is your take on just getting the music out there, whereas radio used to do the job, now streaming services or YouTube, stuff like that? Because you guys are very active in making videos. So tell us about your thoughts on getting the music out to the masses before you
Well,
hit the road.
I love making videos just because I think from the beginning I always wanted bands to be intentional. There's the music, there's the visual aspect of it, and the videos, which kind of take the people through the story and make it very immersive. So I remember when Spotify became a thing, we were already a band. And we're like, I guess we have to get the music on Spotify. And at first you're like, oh, like everything's gaining up against the artist, like all the streaming. But I think with the changing times, there's no really stopping it, and it does go in ebb and flows. Like as you can see, vinyl is coming back, and like we sell a lot of vinyl and we sell a lot of physical CDs, especially on the road. So we kind of have the attitude that everything is good now, and streaming really lets you reach people in all different countries easier. So it does let your music reach people, in a wider way. Um, so there are pros and cons to everything. So we just
Right.
the best of it. But we do put a lot of emphasis on having really cool physical packages, like lots of cool artwork inside the CDs, inside the vinyl. So we don't abandon the physical aspect of things.
Well, as you can kind of see in the background on either side here, lot of vinyl in the collection, and some of it on the walls. But I'm looking forward to getting some Edge of Paradise vinyl, some
Yeah.
wax I can drop the needle on at some point soon. So definitely with that now. And you mentioned the ability to get your music out there overseas and just to different markets. You guys band does a lot of touring in Europe. And now when you go over there, is it mainly festivals that you do exclusively, or while you're there, do you get in some stops in the clubs and the halls and the venues as well?
Yeah, we only did a few festivals. It was mainly tours. The first European tour, well, first every time we went to Europe was actually for a festival with Delane, the Metal Festival in Amsterdam. We had a great time. Actually, Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Uh, then the first tour in Europe we've ever done was with Sonata Arctica. And that was a big tour for us. It was over 25 shows, if I can remember. Yeah, even more. So we hit over 20 countries. So, and it was big venues, over 1,000 people each show. So that was really great for us, and it kind of took the band to the next level. But then, of course, 2020 happened. We had a lot of US tours lined up. So once everything got canceled, that's when we decided to go into the studio and we made The Unknown. So then after, not that long ago, we went to the UK in the summer, this past summer. So that was a really fun tour that we did with bands Temperance and Carved. They're both Italian bands. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, now we're with Lacuna Coil, and we're looking to go back to Europe pretty soon. But we're doing a couple of festivals in the US.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the Blue Ridge Fest in Virginia. Then we're gonna have an East Coast tour, and then we're gonna go to Mexico for a festival. So I'm excited for that.
So obviously, what for you? I mean, again, the good and the bad with everything, but what kind of different vibe is it, at a festival as opposed to just being in a venue or a hall or a theater?
Yeah, there's well, the difference, I guess, is a festival. There's so many bands, and it's much more. Everything goes so fast. Um, so it is a different vibe, but at the end of the day, it's kind of the same energy. I love the metal and rock crowd because people are so supportive. So, like this tour that we're on with Lacuna Coil, it kind of feels like a festival a little bit because there's 4 bands, and we're hitting so many places, and the venues are big, and we're seeing so many people. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say. We've never been like Blue Ridge Festival is going to be the biggest festival that we've done. We haven't done yet, but so I'll tell you about that one when we play it.
Well, always welcome here on All Over the Place, Margarita. So we definitely want to follow up later in the year once the new album's out and hear Tales from the Road absolutely as well. And now with you mentioned the metal crowds being so supportive, so just awesome, because metal is awesome, right, Marty?
Metal is awesome.
Duh. So,
So
but
I'm wondering,
yeah.
yeah. So I've in going down the YouTube tunnel, watching your videos. Fantastic. I mean, very creative, and not a lot of people put that kind of effort. And I understand you do a lot of or you have in the past done a lot of the costumes and the dresses with the mirrors and all really good stuff. And I noticed going through these videos, you've done some covers. Welcome to the Jungle. You did a Who song. I stumbled on Still Loving You.
Oh my God, that was
Long time ago. So
Are you making our guest blush, Marty?
well, it's so fantastic singing, but I was blown away, and I know this is a bit of your specialty, but the piano playing was fantastic, and I'm assuming you composed all that from the original. You just very, very good. So will there be some of that on the new album?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, on all the albums, I always play the keyboards. I always do the arrangements, like the cinematic arrangements on the strings and the electronic elements. So I love doing all of that. There are some songs where you do hear piano, um, and we already have a couple of piano versions of the songs. And that's always really fun for me because when you strip away all the heavy rock elements and then it's just the piano and the voice, it kind of takes the song into a different place and brings out the different side and different emotion. So I'm excited to share those versions as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of traveling through time. And
I do love it when artists do that. There was another one. I don't recall which one it was now, but there was another one where it was just you and the guitar player, and that was also. I'm always drawn to those.
love those. Yeah, Alone, We Have in a Dream. Yeah. Yeah, it's always
So,
fun. I love doing that.
quick question: do you play guitar?
I wish. No, I don't. No one ever
Just
taught.
curious.
Dave has never taught you even like some simple chords?
No, never. I think he just didn't never wanted to. It's his space.
There you go. Exactly. So,
He always gets mad if I'm like, Dave, do this type of a solo. Sometimes I would make a solo on the piano, and then I'm like, can you do a little bit of that? It's like, no, and then he ends up incorporating it anyway. So
And metal crowds, and I was hinting at it a little earlier. Metal crowds, as you mentioned, Margarita, are very faithful, very loyal, and we kind of get screwed in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame department. And I don't want to get into the politics of that at all, but after last year, Judas Priest gets in. I think it might be time to get some more bands like Motorhead, Maiden, and Maiden gets there. Okay, I'll get there, Marty. Hang on a second. So I just want to see, Margarita, if you were able to not just nominate but induct a few metal artists, who would they be? And please don't take into consideration the fact you've got two huge Iron Maiden fans in this panel right now.
Well, yeah, Iron Maiden. I mean, yeah, bands like, they've built such an iconic. There's a whole world, right? Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath. Rammstein should be on it. They throw fire into people. It's always hard. I honestly I never pay attention to those and award shows, and because I do know that it's just so much politics and involved, and there's just great artists, and there's so many people in the world, and everybody has their own taste, right? Because art is so versatile, and everybody has their own taste. So I never want to kind of judge it like, oh, you deserve the award, but they don't, because people put in the same amount of effort, and more than others. But at the end of the day, bands like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, they're kind of up there together, so it's hard to judge who will get it, right?
In the end, we're all out there rocking. Iron Maiden still sells out wherever they go.
Yeah, as long as you can keep making music and playing shows, that's kind of winning the award all on its own.
Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame, we're still going to go and be in a mosh pit at an Iron Maiden show. And we mentioned little Layden earlier, and then the younger kids in the crowd. And for people who are still they're haven't been able to go to a show yet, what three, 4, 3, 5, just a few songs, what would you want to put out there? What Edge of Paradise songs would you want to introduce people? 3 or 4 songs to bring them in, to hook them into being an Edge of Paradise fan?
Well, live we're playing a lot of the new songs.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, from The Unknown, well, definitely The Unknown. I would say Digital Paradise, The Unknown, One Last Time. And
I liked Fire.
Fire is a good one. Yeah, because that kind of gives you the whole spectrum of the band. You have The Unknown, which is really emotional. It's really cinematic. You have Digital Paradise, which is very futuristic. It's very upbeat. It has a lot of electro elements to it. One Last Time is just a really powerful, emotional rock ballad. Very cinematic as well. Fire is kind of a little bit punk, a little rock, just very upbeat. So yeah, those 4 songs are a good spectrum of what we do.
I'm also, I would throw False Idols into that mix to get somebody hooked. And going back to I got to show off, folks. This is how I got introduced. Oh, don't do that. Now I'm making our guest blush. Sorry about that. But I got to throw it out to Chip Ruggieri as well. He's how we got introduced, and with the Mask album. And actually, without getting too into any possible politics and rights issues, will Mask ever be making its way over to Spotify or the other digital platforms?
No.
No. So in other words, hang on to this. It's a collector's item.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. Off of that one, I Walk the Line has always been a favorite of mine. And no, it's not a Johnny Cash cover. It's a great song in and of itself. And I also wanted, Marty mentioned 2 of the covers, Love Rain Over Me by The Who and Welcome to the Jungle. And I'm also digging the Saints of Los Angeles cover you did. And iconic Los Angeles band, and you guys being a Los Angeles band. How did you get involved with that project, that the whiskey collection of Crew songs?
I don't remember. That's so long ago.
Well, you sing the hell out of it. So that's what that's another great cover, and a cover that kind of like amongst all like the Helter Skelter or Too Young to Fall in Love, to have something from the 21st century. And Well, it may have been a long time ago. You may not remember. Love it.
Oh,
Kick ass.
I guess I do remember. He's a good friend, and he was the drummer at the time, Gene McEwen. So he was involved in that. I think his friend or he knew someone who was putting it together, and he was like, "Hey, this is your band, Edge of Paradise. You guys want to do something?" So we're like, "Yes," and I think we picked that song. I think that's how it came together, because we were like, "Oh, we're in LA, got to do Saints of LA."
Love it. And again, Margarita Monet from the band Edge of Paradise. I want to thank you for being here with us on All Over the Place. And as we're winding things down, I want to what is one album is in your collection that would most shock your Edge of Paradise fans?
Shock?
What would they be most surprised to say? Oh my, she listens to that?
Well, I don't know if it would shock you guys, but I started listening to Dio. I love Heaven and Hell album. I don't think that's very shocking.
No, considering your vocal range, no, doesn't surprise me at all. No.
I didn't go through a Marilyn Manson phase.
Ooh.
Oh, that's shocking. But
No,
yeah,
I think we all do that at some point in our life.
got it. I love the album 30 Seconds to Mars, because I know Dave always gets on my case for like if that's shocking.
All right. Well,
Have you met Jared Leto yet?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's not a fun band atmosphere if someone's not picking on you. That's out of love, out of love. So, and folks, Margarita, once again, thanks for joining us here. You can check out the band at edgeofparadiceband.com. Go to YouTube, check out all of the cool videos there. And Margarita, the show's coming up. Make sure you check out your local venues. And where are you going to be next? What's coming up in the coming days?
So tomorrow, actually, we are kind of in LA area. We're in Ventura. Ventura Theater. It's a really beautiful theater. It's north of LA. Then from there, we're going up to Salt Lake. So it's a really big venue up there. And then we're making our way around through Colorado, through Arizona, New Mexico, and then back in Los Angeles. The tour ends at the very beautiful Belasco Theater.
Back in Los Angeles. Very cool. Well, folks, again, check out Margarita and the band Edge of Paradise at edgeofparadiceband.com. Margarita, again, thanks for joining us here on All Over the Place. Christine, Marty, as always, thanks for being part of the fun sanity here on All Over the Place. And we'll be seeing you soon here on All Over the Place.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Very welcome. Take care, Margarita. All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.